everyone. My name is Dr. Michele Burklund. Thank you for joining me today. So I am the Chief Science Officer of Puria, and a lot of what I do is create amazing formulas, write a lot of the educational content, and I am here with you once a week answering your questions. So we'll wait a little bit. Everybody write in the comments, let me know where you're coming in from if you're catching this live too, or if you have any questions. So this week we are actually talking about fungal infections. And for those of you new to our question and answer sessions, we focus on specific conditions every week. So in the past, we focused on pain, we focused on eczema, nasal congestion, dandruff, a lot of common conditions. And this is our second time talking about fungal infections. And something interesting too is I was reading this clinical study that said that 25% of the world's population will get at least one skin fungal infection in their lifetime. And that is huge. That is just crazy. Hi, Jessica. Thank you for joining us today, too. So today's topic is fungal infection, if you're catching us right now. And I'll wait a little bit longer for other people to join in, but it's crazy to me that 25% of the world's population is going to have this. So as much as we don't like talking about this, it's a really big deal, and a lot of people are affected by it, too. Okay, so I'm going to grab the questions we have for this week as well. And I want to remind all of you guys to sign up for our newsletter. It's in the description, and it's also on top of our Facebook page. There's a blue button. And with that, you will get announcements of all of our future Facebook Live sessions and awesome health news, and also information about our products and events and any discounts too. Also, we're doing another series, and I'm super excited about this. It's called Living Well, and I'm going to be interviewing different people every week in the health and wellness field, so a lot of the experts. And starting Monday, we have Dr. Paul Anderson, who is amazing. He's a Hay House author, and he just published a best-selling book called Cancer Outside the Box. So he is going to be on our show, and kind of the goal with both the Q&A sessions and this interview series is to give you as much information as we can about health. Instead of just offering products, we want to give you everything. We want to give you the most tools we can to address the root cause, to change your lifestyle. So I'm really excited about both of these series. Okay, so I will start with our first question. I have athlete's foot, and I wear steel-toed boots every day to work. How should I apply this balm, and what types of socks should I wear to work? So we're actually talking about the Wonder Balm. The Wonder Balm is our antimicrobial, antifungal cream. And that's a great question. Of course, I would say wear open-toe shoes. Let your feet breathe if you have athlete's foot. But if you have to go to work, first off, I would apply the Wonder Balm in the morning and in the evening. But keeping your feet dry throughout the day, I think, is very important. Whether you use some sort of natural powder, or if you can, changing your socks in the middle of the day. I don't know if that's convenient. It depends on the type of work you do. But applying the Wonder Balm, changing your socks, keeping your feet dry is incredibly important, because prevention is a big part of preventing that reoccurrence too. Okay, next question. And I also want to remind you guys, if you have questions about different conditions, write them in the comments and we can include them in upcoming sessions. Or if it's super immediate, you can always email us here at Puria, and somebody will always get back to you through email as well. But yeah, we focus on different conditions, because then if you're interested in it, you can join in, or you can wait for the next one if you're interested in something else too. Okay, so next question. I have jock itch, and I'm wondering how many times a day I should apply the Wonder Balm. So I think a lot of you guys have heard me say this before. This is very individual. It depends on how severe the fungal infection is. If it's quite severe, you can apply it 2 to 3 times a day. But one thing that I always want to remind everyone is to continue applying even after you don't see the rash anymore for a little while, because just because you don't see any visible rash doesn't mean it's not there, and that's how it can kind of sneak back and come back in too. I also want to remind you to wear natural fabrics, whether that's like cotton or linen or bamboo or hemp, something that breathes and something that's natural instead of something synthetic like polyester or something like that that can hold the moisture in as well. So keep that area dry. On average, I would say probably apply it twice a day, but it depends on the severity as well. Okay, this is a question. This is a question we actually get for a lot of our products, and it has to do with your skin breaking out. So she says, can I use the Wonder Balm on my face without causing breakouts? So the Wonder Balm is a great combination, and it should not cause breakouts in your skin. Now, I want to remind everyone that everybody is unique, and the face is a sensitive area. So always apply a small amount and see how you react to that before you do a full application. But we have a lot of great antimicrobial agents in there with the essential oils and the vitamin A and a lot of nourishing components too. So it should not cause breakouts, but everybody is different. Everybody's going to react different to that as well. Okay. I like this question a lot. We had a little bit about this question last time. Which essential oils do you use, and what types of fungi are they effective against? So every essential oil has different therapeutic value. A lot of them have the same too, but studies have shown that certain essential oils are more effective against certain fungus, and certain essential oils are more effective against different bacteria too. So the essential oils that we chose in this formula are very specific towards the fungal infections and the bacteria infections that we were focusing on here. Okay, so tea tree, a lot of people are familiar with tea tree. We love it specifically because it's effective against so many different types of fungus and bacteria. It's, for example, studies have shown it to be antimicrobial and effective against Candida species, Trichophytis species, and Malassezia, which is a fungal infection commonly known as tanning rash. So all of those different species, tea tree oil is effective against. And if you don't know what that are, so Trichophytid, that's typically responsible for your common fungal infections like ringworm, jock itch, athlete's foot, all of those are the same. Malassezia is actually something called tanning rash. It's a little bit different, and that one specifically is effective against that. We also have eucalyptus oil in that, and studies have shown that to be effective against Candida species, and also a lot of the common fungal skin infections like athlete's foot and ringworm, and it's also antimicrobial. So something that I'm very excited about with the eucalyptus oil is that the Alternative Medicine Review, which is the Journal of Clinical Therapeutic Actions, found eucalyptus essential oil to have broad spectrum antimicrobial properties, meaning that it covers all different types of bacteria too. We also have olive oil in that, and I'm a huge fan of olive oil. It's very antimicrobial. It has a lot of broad spectrum activities and also very antifungal as well. So the next question is, what are the best conditions that Wonder Balm can be used for? So we specifically formulated the Wonder Balm to be used for athlete's foot, ringworm, jock itch, toenail fungus, different cuts and scrapes, minor burns, sunburns, and insect bites. But I also want to say, we don't recommend putting it directly on like a large open wound. We want it to have healed before we put it on, and then it can help the healing process as well. I also want to remind all of you too that in our formula, it doesn't have a lot of ingredients. And I feel like a lot of people, when they look at formulations, they think, oh, this one has 40 different ingredients and this one has 20. So the one with 40 must be better. But it's not the amount of ingredients, it's the ingredients that are effective against those specific things, and then the dosages, right? So if you have a combination of 40 different ingredients, the dosages, right, they are going to be less than something that has just maybe 10 or 15. So in our Wonder Balm, we have, we have macadamia nut oil, we have safflower oil, we have olive oil, tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil, lavender oil, vitamin E, and vitamin C. And those pretty much are the main therapeutic ingredients. But we specifically formulated those for the condition. So instead of adding a whole bunch of things, we focused in on what is the most effective for these conditions. So I always want to remind people that too, just because I think that they like to focus on the amount of ingredients rather than the effectiveness of the mechanism of action of the ingredients that we have. Okay, and this is a great question. I feel like we always talk about this during each question and answer session, and it's, why do fungal infections reoccur? And this has to do with the prevention component. Like I said, you can use one of our products, a different product, and then not see the rash anymore, not see the fungal infection, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gone. You know, it can still be there, just not visible. So it's very important to continue using the Wonder Balm for 2 weeks after you see the visible signs gone. And this will really help make sure that the fungus is gone. And then we have to go with prevention. You know, fungus loves wet, moist areas. So keeping the area dry, washing clothes regularly, washing towels, washing bedding, replacing bedding, not going barefoot in public places, wearing sandals. All these little things help on a larger scale with prevention, and then also making sure that the fungus infection is gone as well. So I want to remind everybody of that, because I would say the majority of people that use the product say, oh, my fungus infection is gone, I can stop using the product, but keep using it for a little bit longer, please. Okay, this is one of my favorite questions because it has to do with botanicals. So what herbs fight fungal infections? And so we just talked about topical herbs, right? Like essential oils, different things that can work directly on the skin. But there's a lot of great things you can do internally for different fungal infections, whether it's candida or intestinal issues. But I want to remind you too that when you do take botanicals orally, especially for this, they can be toxic because they're very, very powerful herbs, but they can work very well too. So always have a naturopathic doctor or another health professional monitor you while you are taking some of these herbs. For example, we have Artemisia, which is very powerful as an antifungal, and it's one of my favorites too. So living in Greece, Artemisia was everywhere, and it's such an amazing plant. There's so many medicinal uses for it, and one of the main ones for this is fungal infection. So we also have worm seed for that. We have black walnut, which is milder and can be effective against candida or different intestinal fungal infections. And I also want to say that soon we are going to be formulating a oral supplement for fungal infection. So it's a little different. It's going to focus more on supporting the gut microbiome, helping get rid of candida, and supporting the immune system too, because a lot of people with a lower immune system can be prone to fungal infections. Also people taking steroids, people with diabetes. So all these little things we're going to kind of put together and focus on the root cause and create some really amazing supplements too. So if any of you guys have any comments or questions, or let me know where you are watching this from. We have a lot of great things coming up, and Whoever's joining us right now, I want to talk about our Living Well series, where we're going to have our guest next week, Dr. Paul Anderson, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be for sure to join us for that. We're going to have people every week, not at a specific time, just at some point throughout the week. The following week, it's going to be on a Monday as well. So please join us for that. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. We are just about done with our ebook that we developed. We put a lot of effort into it, and it gives you a lot of amazing information and great tips. So sign up for our newsletter, and I will see you guys next week too. So have an amazing weekend. And if you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks.